Hello and welcome to your reading Aquarius North Node for January, February, March 2023. I am Samara, your feminist alchemist. So first, I would like to remind you that these are general readings, so not all the messages will apply to you. Just take what strikes a chord and leave the rest for whoever else in your Aquarius North Node collective needs to hear that message at this time. If you are feeling this reading, you can give it a like, a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the Feminist Alchemist channel, which lets me know that you are resonating with the messages and signals to the guides that you would like to continue to receive messages through this channel. Also click the notification bell, which will let you know when I upload my next video. These videos are only for the North Node placement, not your Sun, Moon, or Rising. So if you're not 100% sure where your North Node is, then you can visit the link in the description box, which leads you to a chart on my website that lets you know where the North Node was at your date of birth, according to Western astrology. And if you're not 100% sure what the North Node represents, there's also a short video about that in the description box as well. If it is your first time at my channel, welcome. We are doing a spread that was given to me by my guides, specifically for the North Node. And I'm going to timestamp every section of this reading. There's multiple sections. We start with the big overarching energies that are affecting your life in the next 3 months. Then we go to, that one is called Universal Energies, quote unquote. And then 5D, we're looking at messages from your higher self, future self, areas that they would like you to focus on when it comes to your spiritual expansion and personal growth. Then we look at the 3D, which shows situations in your physical reality that are appearing as opportunities for your growth. We'll ask for advice on how to bridge the 3D situation with the 5D. And then we'll look at, in this reading, we'll look at the portal of the heart. Every session I look at a different kind of closing theme. Sometimes it's alchemy, sometimes it's karma. This time is portal of the heart, which is what your heart would like to process in the next 3 months in order for it to expand and let out more of your authentic self. And then we will close with 2 oracle cards. Yeah. And as I said, I will timestamp every section so that if you do not complete this reading in one sitting, or you want to come back at any time in the next 3 months, it will be easy for you to do so. All right, so let us begin. Aquarius North Node. I've already pre-shuffled your cards. So Worthy has been coming out for many signs. Starseed. Aquarius North Node. Aquarius North Node. What do they? Power. Frequency shift. I think that's it. Okay. Nope, one more. Up. Where would you? Oh, okay. These two are very similar. Up and frequency shift. Okay. So I see for you, Aquarius North Node, that you have the potential in the next 3 months to really increase your sense of self, your sense of self-worth, your sense of self-love, understanding yourself, understanding the characteristics of yourself in a way that is empowering to you. And in a way, I have this feeling that there are things that that have made you feel different or out of place, and that even people may have made fun of you about or made you feel odd about, that you are going to embrace. You have the opportunity to embrace as actually a true gift. And seeing yourself from a higher perspective. So they want me to say specifically that some of you are having like an awakening of psychic gifts. If you've always been considered too sensitive, or you see the world in a very different way than other people, and you've just been trying to fit in, but it has not been fitting. And all the ways that you've been trying to fit in may come to surface in the next 3 months in order for you to release them, because your differentness has more power than you have been giving it credit for so far in your life's journey. Yeah, they kind of want me to summarize it there. And I'm already moving on to the 5D so that we can go deeper. I just, like the way all these energies are working together is in a way that unburdens you from whatever your opinions were of yourself, or opinions for you or of you by other people that have been suppressing some of your natural talents and abilities. I'm going to move to your 5D now. So the first card we get is Freedom. Divine Masculine. Strength. I'm going to put this all up here. I have Joy. Take this one. Perception. Just wondering if they want this one that dropped here. I don't think that. We have second chakra. Okay. Then we have heart chakra and Gaia came out together. So 5D, future self, higher self, they want you to be aware of the freedoms that you take and the freedoms that you limit yourself from. And specifically, so they want you to understand that some of the freedoms that you feel that you don't have are self-imposed. Some of the limitations are self-imposed because of your perception of how people will receive it or what the consequences of you acting in that freedom will have for you. And specifically, I feel it's the freedom to act how you want to act in the world, to take the actions that you want to take, or that you feel compelled to take. So I feel you've been suppressing some of your divine impulses, and they want you to know that they are divine impulses, that what comes to you in dreams, in meditations, especially if they come repeatedly, that these are from your higher self and your guides. They want to assure you that some of the impulses you have are from your higher self and your guides. That could be to start a certain business, that could be to end a relationship, that could be to take up a certain hobby. Yeah, those are the examples they're giving me. They're asking you to focus on a strength of character where you allow yourself to be who you know yourself to be. So the you that's in your jammies in your house on a long weekend, when no one is around, is the you that they want you to be everywhere. Not to say that the, let's say, versions of you or that you utilize in order to make social situations more smooth. They're saying not to say that that's not part of you, but there needs to be all parts of you harmonized. So I'm going to read what's on the strength card for you. The frequency of strength supports our ability to harmonize all our qualities and skills toward a strong and balanced way of being. So some of you are putting up with devaluing behavior or people whose, like they showed me specifically an example of someone who is putting up with ignorant points of view, like they work around or spend time with people who are racist, homophobic, sexist, and this doesn't resonate with their being, but they feel that they can't call out those people. Or maybe I have this feeling that some of them are like long time friends or close family, and it feels easier to just accept them as being close-minded and just like giggling it off rather than, I don't want to say confronting it, but at least not showing that you don't think that way. And there is a balance between confronting someone for their beliefs and just standing in your own truth. And the first step is really just standing in your own truth. Joy says the energy of joy activates our feelings of happiness and well-being and supports a high vibrational frequency in our being. Yeah. So if you are around people and situations where your joy is dampened. So I'm getting this feeling that you are in a community situation. Now, we're all parts of various communities, social circles, work, neighborhoods, right? Friends, family, that I feel that where you're spending time, Aquarius North Node could be pulling on your energy. And your challenge in the next 3 months is not, I don't see a removal of yourself from these situations. The growth for you in the next 3 months is being yourself in amongst those people, regardless of what they think, regardless of how they perceive you. It's more important how you perceive yourself in the next 3 months. I'll read this. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. Yep. And you'll be surprised as well, they're saying, by how many people in the group are actually also just kind of going along with the status quo for the sake of the group. So let's talk about your South Node that's in Leo, which is a very leader of the pack energy. So you may feel that the easiest route to go rather than dealing with the dynamic in the group is just to abandon the group or find a new group. And they're saying that you will continue to confront the same issues if you do not learn the lesson that is in this for you. And in this lesson of whatever sphere of life where you're not quite flowing with the people around you, is for you to be high frequency even and high vibration and yourself, even in situations where that is not the norm, right? To be part of the, let's call it the discussion, the negotiation of energy, as opposed to bending to it for the sake of peace or running from it in order to, avoid conflict. And they say, yeah, for some of you, it does feel like, obviously we can't change other people's minds if they are not willing to change their minds and behaviors. But once again, this is not a reason to not be yourself. It could be a reason not to push the issue with someone, not to be combative with them, not to, but it's perfectly fine if someone says something ignorant to say, I think that's really ignorant. The end, and say, I'm not interested in changing your opinion, but I have my own. And I think what you think is, bullshit, dehumanizing, small-minded, whatever. You're entitled to your opinion and you need to have it. Yes, that's what I got from there. Like my head is tingling right now. The energy of the sacral chakra helps us navigate our lives through our emotions and supports our ability to enjoy the sensual world. Yeah, you can't deny your emotions, especially if you have knee-jerk or like reactions, emotional reactions to your environment. I kind of want to go straight to the heart chakra as well. The frequency of the heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and body. And then Gaia, the frequency of Gaia, reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother and to the universe that birthed us all. So understand yourself as part of the fabric, and yeah, you are entitled to call people out. if you're entitled to your opinion and you're entitled to call people out because, well, if you feel in your bones something to be destructive, then it's okay to empower yourself by speaking your truth. But that power is also, there's a line between speaking your truth and being judgmental of another. And you may have some challenges in navigating that line. Because as I said before, it's like I feel some of these people who drag down your energy are actually very close to you. They're people that you do care about for the most part. That may not apply to everyone because I do have like this pocket of energy that feels like these are people that you feel very separate from. But that does not mean that that separation can be because you feel very different from these people or this group that you seem to be dealing with or have dealt with in the past. And they want to remind you as well, it's like you haven't come together with people by accident. If you're in a group where it's a little challenging to be yourself, and right now we see in the next 3 months you're being encouraged to be yourself without making a run for it from the communities you are a part of, it's because you being yourself has a benefit to everybody in that constellation, even if it doesn't feel that way to begin with. You are here meant to be who you are, meant to grow in the way you're to grow. And some people will be lagging behind you and just witness it and will spawn something in them. And who knows how long from that, from that moment that they witness something in you and are triggered by it, how long it takes for them to come around to their next stage of growth. But that's not your concern. Your concern is to empower yourself today. And view your conflicts with people within your community. I'm just using the term community loosely once again. With conflicts as not you being or doing anything wrong, but just the nature of, well, you're all part of the same fabric. You're from you can love them unconditionally and not agree with the way they go about life. You see what I'm saying? And the way that they utilize their mind. You can disagree with that. That is perfectly fine. And necessary in order to help move things along in terms of upliftment, growth, expansion, better understanding of each other. Yeah. Okay, I've been shuffling your 3D cards, so I'm going to get to that now. We have the Two of Wands. We have the Fool and the Seven of Swords that came out together. I'm going this way. Okay, they seem to want it like this. I was going to put them together, but did not feel right. And then Aquarius, North Node. What is going on in their physical reality? And the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Choices, choices, choices. Aquarius North Node. And I feel that this is I feel you are faced with choices, but both of these choices actually lead to the same place. It's just a matter of what the journey is going to be like. But either way, you are walking into a new stage of growth. It's up to you if you're going to repeat some lessons just to be like absolutely sure that you've gotten them. Because the Fool is telling me that, especially, this is the first time I'm noticing that on the Fool card, she's surrounded by butterflies here. But she's also kind of tiptoeing barefoot, following this wolf to the edge of something new. I feel that your change has been very quiet and understated, but you are going through a very profound transformation, profound understanding of yourself. I almost feel like someone is waking up in the morning and looking themselves in the mirror, and every time they look at themselves in the mirror, it's like there's a new person looking back at them, like just bit by bit, day by day. But yeah, it's surprising even to you because it seems to be happening without you doing anything. So some of you are being awakened to your spiritual nature and are navigating how that is going to fit into your life. I feel some of you are still denying and ignoring some personal truths. And in the next 3 months, you will have to come to terms with some personal truths, especially emotional truths. And some of you have been trying to fit into a place where you just don't really fit in. But once again, I don't feel you leaving. I feel you making more of an effort to stand out, or more of an effort to just be yourself, and challenging people to accept you as you are. Because I feel that you, in tolerating other people's thoughts, behaviors, have been accepting people unconditionally, and they're not returning that to you. So the Ace of Pentacles in reverse for me here. Feels like I heard playing with the hand that you've been given. Well, they said dealing with the hand that you've been given. Deal with the hand you've been given. So you're going to be challenged in the next 3 months to work within the constructs and within the groupings and constructs that you're already in. Because they're saying that for some of you, you may be thinking of moving on or changing. Okay, the key to you finding your joy, your wealth, your prosperity. It doesn't have to do with the group that you're in, the job that you're in, at least not at this stage. At this stage is, are you going to be the wholeness of who you are in every situation? Are you going to realize how much you have to offer, how worthy you are, how much you have given, how much you have to give, and appreciate yourself for that first and foremost? Because if you're looking for external approval and you're not approving of yourself, then that's you're setting yourself up for being underestimated, for being taken for granted, because that's a constant loop of proving yourself, or you're constantly giving more than people are giving you because you're giving them unconditional love, understanding, and you're also suppressing what makes your vibe high in order to appease them or avoid conflict. And these situations are coming up for you to strengthen your character in those situations. I'm going to check your 3D, not 3D, yeah, the bridging the 3D and the 5D. So we have the Lovers in reverse. Santa Muerte, which is death. The Wheel of Fortune. And the Four of Pentacles. Okay. With the Lovers in reverse, I'm feeling that while as Aquarius North Node, you have this pull to philanthropy, that you may not feel it at all, right? But theoretically, that's part of the call, the energy of that placement. How much you are actually feeling it is a measurement of how connected you are to this placement, or depending on where you are in your development with this placement. I feel that there's this necessity not to overthink things and not to worry about getting along with people at this stage. In the next 3 months, it's like, don't worry about getting along with people. And some people may take that wrong. Not wrong. They'll take it in their own way. This is the point. You've got to be you in all, and you have to do the things that feel natural to you, not over-intellectualize your movements and overanalyze. And if people come to you with analyticalness, analytics of what you do and why you did it and why it's not, they're picking and prodding at you. Yeah. So I'll just tell them, well, they just don't want you to care. They don't even want you to like mix up in the conversation. You may seem cold to some people. But there's this, the death card here is telling me that something that really needs to end for you is delaying or putting off what makes you happy in order to keep the peace with someone else. So even if it's, okay, here's like just an everyday example. You order lunch together and, you just take whatever everyone else is taking. It's just things like that are like, no, no, not anymore. Maybe you want to take up veganism or vegetarianism, but you live in a very meaty household. It's just getting this death of people pleasing or avoiding conflict for the sake of avoiding conflict, because they also want you to realize that what you are sacrificing by not standing up for yourself or not being yourself in all situations is you're sacrificing your own development. And they want you to really understand that. It's going to the Wheel of Fortune. That you're halting the development of your own. That's not the word development I'm looking for. What is this motion called? We'll call it the motion. You're halting the motion of your own development by not firmly putting your feet down in the direction that you're walking, right? So you must let destiny must let the universe do its part. And your part in it is the allowing of your intellect and your emotions to both guide you. Because I feel that you haven't been over-intellectualizing or over-emotionalizing. You just have not been processing what your emotions mean to you or what it means in a practical sense. Fine, happiness, sadness, anger, frustration. Why and what situations does that come in, and what people are you around that bring that emotion, and what does that mean then in terms of what you can do in order to improve your emotional state overall, right? And do you speak your emotional and intellectual truth? And as long as you're not doing those things, then the universe is basically just working towards you speaking that truth, but it can't do anything more for your actual, let's say, the next steps in your life. That is the next thing that is something that you cannot go into the next phase of your life without having strengthened, established in your being clear on what you think and feel and acting on it. With the Four of Pentacles, I feel that you do need to take a look at what you have already established in your life, relationships, finances, material. Just what does your life look like? And realize that you have the ability to build anew, change how things are built, right? And they also want you, like I hear some things aren't worth saving. Is partially what I'm hearing. Some things aren't worth saving. And they're showing me very specifically like how this figure is sitting and almost like playing with a dollhouse, playing with this scene that they've built, diorama or model town. And that is you, right? You've kept certain characters in your life. You've pursued certain career paths of study. You've made choices towards your health and how you dress and things like this. And they want you to understand that everything is kind of created from the same big... Okay, this is an interesting analogy. Like everything is from the same big soup, right? It's up to you if you're going to, like, what from the pot of soup you're going to put in your bowl. Are you going to put more veggies? Are you going to put meat? Do you want a lot of the broth? Do you want dumplings? But it's up to you to select from the pot what is going to go into your bowl. And they want you to realize and to understand that everything is in the same pot. So it's up to you to be discerning about what you want. And if you don't want to eat what you put in your bowl, then you need to go again. Right? You need to put the spoon back in the pot and get something new. This is how you must empower yourself, right? And just because what you got from the pot doesn't nourish you anymore does not mean it didn't nourish you at some point. So you could always be grateful for what you've received. And that gratitude also helps you manifest more and more in alignment with what you need now. So it's okay to change as well. As I said, some things are not worth saving. It's because it doesn't serve you anymore. Okay, I'm going to go to Portal of the Heart. We have Thunder in reverse. Blade. The Spiral. Let's see how this goes. And the Rattle. Okay. I feel that you have a calling. Like has been a clear calling to you. It's been calling to you. And your heart is just waiting for you to fully acknowledge really the depth of what that is. So I feel that part of me feels that you're avoiding a storm, in that you know that by stepping out of the role that you've been playing, that you're going to cause conflict amongst your family, friends, colleagues, relationship. For some of you, this may be, it's only coming now towards the end. I didn't feel this during so specifically, but for some of you, it's a coming out of sorts of gender identity or sexual orientation. But for some of you, it's just leaving toxic people who make everything about them. Like your heart wants to be in drama-free. Your heart wants to be drama-free. But part of that as well, that came up, as I said, it's like not necessarily leaving the community you're in, but it is putting your foot down about what type of shite you are going to tolerate. What stuff you're like not willing to deal with. And the blade is I feel it's cutting away all that weighs you down. I keep coming back to, you may not be leaving the groups that you are a part of. However, they need a clear directive as to accept me unconditionally or don't bother with me, right? Because for a lot of you, I feel that you're giving a certain higher vibrational love and acceptance that you're not getting in return. And it's time for you to demand that in return, and not via confrontation of, necessarily calling people out or having a conflict with them, but just by standing in your full self and being very clear, like, this is who I am, and I don't really give a shit what you have to say about it. Like, deal with it. Right? If you claim to be such a great person and my friend and my family and you love me and whatever, then deal with it. And don't come have some heart to heart about how you are scared for my soul or scared for my how people look at me. This is me. Because this is what is going to take you. Your heart wants to go on the next spiral of your evolution, like it's ready to level up, if you will. And you are not wrong. There's nothing wrong with you, and you are not wrong. This is also something that your heart wants you to recognize and embrace, right? Your emotions are not wrong. Your intuition is not wrong. There's actually something very intelligent in your emotions. And the more self-acceptance you have, the more you're actually connecting to your true nature and the vibration of the planet. This is also something they're giving me, because you, as you are, have been called for your purpose here. And you come more into alignment with your purpose when you can accept your person, like you as a person, of all of the quirks and perceived flaws, and also all of the things that you think are great about yourself, when you put them all into the pot as well. Like, you're in the soup too. is what they want me to say. So, and the rattle is as I said, some of you have had a very clear calling also to possibly take up, this is rolling back to the beginning, or take up a hobby, learn something. Some of you, that is like astrology, Reiki, yoga. I feel it has an ancient mysticism associated with it. It may not feel so ancient at the beginning, but its roots are. But there's a spiritual practice, and that can be very broad. Like, allow yourself to think of it very broadly, because you could also, when we think about even some of they pointed me to different methods that actors use to get in touch with their character, and they can be very, very intellectual and also very spiritual and energetic in nature. Like these philosophies of how to dig into a character, and how to embody a character, how to get into a character's head, that also has, even though it may not be steeped in ancient mysticism, there can be elements of it like intertwined and kind of hidden in it, in the philosophy behind it, right? So but the point is that there are these tools for upping your vibration, for being more regularly connected to your higher self and to whatever you consider divine or divinity, right? Your heart wants to take those things up and engage with them on a regular basis. I'm going to move to your final oracles now. Okay, that was easy enough. We have card 33, Spirit of the West. And one more. Ooh, the Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive Hits Soul Tribe. I find it very interesting that Soul Tribe came up. So I'm just going to read directly for the guide from the guidebook for these. Okay, Spirit of the West. The Spirit of the West is connected to the element of water and initiates you to the energy of sensitivity, nurturing, feeling, rest, and self-care. It comes to you during times of stress, overwhelm, burnout, and a deep need to repair and rejuvenate. Darkness and solitude are too often associated with the unknown and loneliness, but there is also a protective quality to these energies. In the depths of the soul, there is no expectation to do anything other than be and receive what is available to you. You have pulled this card because you need to slow down and nourish your spirit. You must regather your strength and have compassion for yourself and all that you do. You deserve the right to seek solitude and time for yourself. You are owed this time to slip into the realm of your spirit for inner guidance and support. The rest of the world can wait until you have enough fuel to be its warrior again. And that's coming near strength as well. So taking the time to gather your strength and to understand your strengths, right? To be with yourself and start really understanding yourself in a new perspective. Let's get the Great Gathering. Just looking for the page here. Okay. You are being called to let your intuition move you physically. You are connected to a group of souls who are weaving a web around the planet, and as you travel and share your creations, something is rethreaded. This card is an acknowledgement that you are either being called to connect with others who are like you at a soul level, or that you already are. You're being called to gather groups of people, either by leading them or becoming part of a group that can support you and your soul's personal mission. You are part of a group of souls who agreed to be here at this time in history to heal yourself, your ancestral line, and the planet, to raise consciousness so that we can continue to call this magnificent place home for eras to come, one of many consciously choosing to devote your life to something greater than yourself. It's time to call in your tribe by sharing your soul's voice and letting yourself be seen. When you share what is real and true to you, and you share the medicine that you most need, those who are like you will gather around you. You are your tribe. They are just like you. And just as you are longing and searching for them, they are longing and searching for you too. So what I'm also getting from that, because remember I kept saying over and over again, you may not be leaving your group. It's not about you leaving and searching out anybody. It's about you being you and letting people gravitate to you. So I'm feeling that within your group, some people who you feel that may not share, they may not be like-minded, they actually are in a similar place to where you are. So they're not showing their full self either. And you are being called, Aquarius North Node, in the 3 months to perhaps be the one who takes that step and therefore gives others permission to take that step. And you'll be revealed in the groups that you're in now that there can be a different dynamic just because you've leveled up your energy. Some people will fall away from the group, but that's fine, right? But it's selection through you just being the light that you are and letting the chips fall where they may after that. So, Aquarius North Node, it is always a pleasure. And I will see you again in a while. I'm working out how I will do the next year's readings. And in the meantime, you can check out Ascension Messages, which is more of a podcast style of messages from different collectives in our star system, star families. So I wish you all the best, and I will see you again. Until then, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now.